Okay, y'all. Before I get into the last part of Country Wayne skits, I am going to be doing something that I am so very, very proud of, and I would like to tell y'all about what I'm going to be doing. Eventually, I will be doing uh, online trainings for critical thinking, common sense, common judgment, healing, recovery. I will be going through the 12 steps of life. I will be talking about trauma as far as family trauma. Captain, Save a Hoe, Build a Bear, Build a Doll, Seed Fillers, People Pleasers. Why, what you're willing to do to be loved, liked, appreciated, valued, wanted, needed, to be a part of something, to be validated, to be approved of, to be accepted, and for someone to know your worth, why that is destroying your lives. Why is it that when it comes to family obligations, things like that, why is it that it's not your obligation to take care of other people? That is not the way God wants you to take care of people. I'm going to teach people the correct way of how to take care of people without you being damaged, without you being destroyed, without you being hit in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I just did a podcast about this when it comes to the family dynamic, when it comes to that Captain Save a Hoe, Build a Bears, Build a Dolls, People Pleasers, and Seed Fillers. So I'm going to do this video just showing y'all how this works. When it comes to a people pleaser, this is a person that will do anything for love, to be liked, to be appreciated, to be valued, to be wanted, to be needed, to be a part of something, to be validated, to be approved of, to be accepted, for someone to know their worth and proving something to people. These are people that if somebody says jump, you'll say how high. You are someone that will always be the person that will always be the one doing the giving, and you'll never receive anything in return, and you will basically take your blessings and think that you don't deserve them, which is why you're giving them to everybody, because you feel like by doing this, eventually your parents going to accept you, eventually your siblings going to like you, so on and so forth. And that's not how that works. When it comes to Captain Save a Hoe, is exactly what it is. You're trying to make a hoe into a husband or into a wife. You're trying to make somebody that has hoish tendencies, people that always you gotta save. You gotta save them. And I'm talking about personally. I'm not talking about somebody you don't know. I'm talking about personally. These are people that personally you just feel that you got to save them. And as J. Cole says, don't save them if they don't want to be saved. These are people that really don't want to be saved and really have no intentions of doing the work, but they're going to take everything you give them and they're going to put it towards somebody else. A build a bear and a build a doll. These are people that you build and turn around and they end up with somebody else that didn't help them build it all. You're building them for somebody else. You're not going to be the one that when you build them that's going to be the one they end up with. They're going to end up with somebody else. Now, when it comes to seat fillers, these are people that are substitutes. You're taking up space until this person is with the person they actually want to be with. So even though this person really don't want you, but you have all the qualities that basically essentially they won't, but you may not have the look. You're somebody that has their children. You're the one that basically essentially is the one that helped them to get where they are, like all the other three, and it's all into one. You're a seed filler. You're the person that's just filling up space. So it's like a side chick. A side chick is doing all the freaky things that his wife ain't gonna do. Not saying his wife ain't gonna do it, but he's never gonna ask his wife to do half the things he's gonna ask a mistress to do. So there's multiple different types of seed fillers. And it also when it comes to your family. So when it comes to personal relationships, a lot of y'all ain't nothing or have never been nothing but seed fillers. So these are the things that we talk about when it comes to trainings and one-on-one coaching. My healing is a little bit different than most people's. Because it's going to hit you below the belt and it's going to hit you where you hurt. And not only that, I talk about coulda, shoulda, wouldas, critical thinking, common sense, common judgment, morals, values, principles, and ethics, weighing the pros and cons, and then consequences, repercussions, and karma. Because a lot of y'all are taking on spiritual weight that ain't yours. Consequences, repercussions, and karma that ain't got nothing to do with you and you shouldn't have been involved. But because you took on somebody else's dead weight, now you're the one suffering. You know how y'all talk about people being overweight and how, like, for example, this bottle is actually empty? If you fill it up, isn't it going to be heavy? So even though you may drink every single solitary bottle out of this bottle, and even this cup here, what do? You replenish it, right? So it's the same thing when it comes to negativity or anything else. So once you get rid of all your negativity out of either one of these, it's going to come right back, because that negativity going to fill itself right back up. And now you're going to have to get rid of all the negativity. So really, weight, there are benefits of it, but for the most part it ain't. Because I would rather feel light than feel heavy. Because even people that may not have physical dead weight, they don't mean mentally and psychologically and emotionally and spiritually that you don't have weight. It don't mean that financially you don't have a bunch of godforsaken debt. That's all weight. It is all pretty much weight. So it's just like even with this hair. Yes, it makes me feel, even though it's light on me, don't mean it doesn't feel heavy on my head. So at the end of the day, there's different types of weight that you have to remove to be healthy. In order for you to be healthy and well, you got to get rid of multiple facets of weight. But when I'm telling you, if you get rid of your mental weight, your psychological weight, your emotional weight, your spiritual weight, your financial weight, and you get rid of your internal and external weight, and you get rid of all your personal weight when it comes to your relationships, you will feel so much lighter. So I'm telling you what I've learned. So then this new journey that I'm in now that I have gotten rid of all of the psychological, mental, financial, all of this weight, including family and friends and everybody else, now I'm working on getting rid of this, this weight. So now I can focus on this. Now I can focus on my health and wellness as far as what I consume, what I acknowledge. Because now that I've gotten rid of everything as far as consumption that is not good for me, and now that I know what I need to be consuming, that's all I do. Consume things that's going to help my health and wellness and nothing more. That's why I went celibate. That's why I ain't having sex. Because I cleansed myself out in all aspects of my life and got rid of all the dead weight. Only thing that I got is 20 pounds. And that's it. Once I lose this 20 pounds, then I have no more dead weight. Once they remove this cyst on my kidneys and once they deal with this, I have no dead weight. I'm officially going to be healthy. Because nothing else is wrong. So like I said, once you get rid of all of the weight, you will feel so much lighter and so much better. And then when you make better choices, better decisions, your actions and behavior will be better. So that's pretty much how this works. When you consume better things, you make better choices. And they don't change no matter what. And when you learn how the world works, you know how to be in it. You know, if you know how people are, then you know how to deal with them. So it's not about temporary solutions as far as health and wellness. It is permanent solutions. So even though you may go through something, it ain't going to be as bad. Why? Because you ain't going to let it go that far. Matter of fact, you ain't going to deal with it at all. You're just going to walk away and let somebody put their hands on you. You ain't worried about what somebody come out their mouth. Not only that, when you start traveling more, work-life balance, building your own business, building your own brands, helping other people in other ways. So instead of helping people personally, you can basically build something for the community, and that's still you helping people. So again, once you figure out the correct way to do things, not just biblically, but also research and education, intellect and knowledge, never gonna steer you wrong. So I'm really excited about this. And I'm traveling. My one trip did get canceled. But that's okay, because I'm booking another one. So I'm still going on a cruise. I just don't know when. But yeah. At the end of the day, like I said, there are other things that cause problems when it comes to recovery and healing that y'all do not know about. And it's my job as a coach to be able to do that. So I have some courses that I'm working on, and a book about recovery that I'm planning on doing, and jewelry, and all this other stuff. And I'm really excited about this new journey, plus my podcast. So I'm excited. Can't wait to share it with y'all.